Okay guys, at your request, I am back in the South of 5th neighborhood today for the part 2 of this video. And today I'm going to show you the east side. Last time I focused on the west side. So this time we're going to look at the beach. We're going to see some of the other shops and restaurants and also the rest of the park with the pier. So let's go check it out. Alright, so today I'm starting off this walk on Meridian Avenue, which is literally like the middle. That's why they call it Meridian. So this street goes straight through the middle of South Beach, and most of the last walk was west of this street. So this one's going to be east of it, and then towards the end I will show you guys also an area where they have lots of popular stores, as well as like a Best Buy and Publix and all of that stuff nearby. Technically it's not in the South of 5th neighborhood, but it's one block across the street. So let's check it all out. If you watched the last neighborhood walk, you'll probably remember in a minute this Cuban restaurant coming up on the right hand side. Look at this cat. He is tired. Hey kitty. Looks a little beat up, to be honest. So there's that Cuban restaurant we walked by last time. It's basically just a little sandwich shop. And in the last video, I took a right and then went straight down Washington Avenue here to Southpointe Park. But this time I'm gonna go straight ahead so you guys get to see the beach and the other side of this area as well. This is also that dog park. It's actually a pretty big dog park. This nice big beautiful tree here provides lots of shade. Especially this time of year, that's really important. And by the way, it's another 100-degree day doing the walk out here, but you know what? I'm pretty used to it. Been here for 12 and a half years, and I'm in pretty good shape, so I can handle it. But you know what? I can't wait for winter, guys. Today is the last day of September. I'm shooting this on September 30th, and man, I am antsy for winter. So coming up here on the right is a famous restaurant in South Beach. It's called Big Pink. I've been there a few times. I don't think it's all that, in my opinion. The food was just okay, and the service was pretty shitty, to be honest. I wouldn't go back there. And I know a couple of you have requested before for me to do a video about my favorite restaurants here in Miami, and I plan on doing that real soon for you. I'm just gonna take a right here real quick to show you. I don't know if this is still here, but last time I was down here, there used to be a really famous nightclub here called Story. And it might be gone, because I don't see the name on the wall anymore. Well, maybe it's still here. Obviously it's closed right now, but they just said they're going to be opening up the clubs and restaurants again in Florida, so I'm sure this place will be hopping again in no time. You can see they got a ton of outdoor seating over there now, which wasn't there before. So first I'm going to take you over to this park and by the beach. And all these little buildings right here are mostly hotels. Some of them are residential and some of them are also condo hotels, but a lot of them are just little boutique hotels, because now we're getting more towards the touristy side of South of 5th. The area I just came from is more the residential area that nobody really knows about unless you live here. But this area over here is where everybody comes and everybody knows about. You can see right into the kitchen there. Sometimes people also ask me about the short-term rental situation down here, and there's not too many buildings that actually allow that, but this one right over here on the corner does. You can see it there. They allow short-term rentals. Take you guys across the street to the park. This park's actually pretty big, and it's usually pretty empty. And also, I think they just opened again the playground areas for kids. At least that's what I heard. I don't see anybody, any parents, any kids over there playing, but let's go check it out. Yeah, so this like whole complex right here, the blue and the green and the orange building, this whole place, they allow some sort of short-term rentals here. So if you're looking to buy a place that's pretty much right on the beach in this neighborhood, that could be an option, but they are expensive. We're talking, you know, at least $700,000 and up for a small one-bedroom. And you always pay a premium for places that allow short-term rentals because the buildings have a lot more maintenance to do on a regular basis, and they have a lot more turnover, which just creates, you know, more trouble and more work for them. So this park is called Marjory Stoneman Douglas Ocean Beach Park. And it looks deserted. I see one guy over there just taking a nap under the tree. Other than that, I don't see anything going on over here. Maybe this park is still closed. Anyways, the reason I wanted to take you guys over here is because this is another amenity of the neighborhood, of course. If you move here and you have kids, under normal circumstances, this would be open, and you know, you just walk a few blocks. You come around here, there's restaurants, you have the park, we got the boardwalk coming up here in just a minute with the beach. So it's pretty nice to live in an area where you can just walk within 5 or 6 blocks to anywhere you want to go. And I think that's pretty rare to find anywhere, really, unless you live in a really dense area like Manhattan. You know, you don't get that too much. And I've heard a few people say before, one of the nicknames of Miami Beach is, this is like the Manhattan of the South, or something like that. Which makes a little sense. Now it's going to be interesting to see how crowded the beach is, because it is the middle of the week and I don't expect it to be that busy. But it is South Beach, so who knows? And I never come down here to go to the beach. You know, I have the beach right in my own backyard up in North Beach. So coming down here to the beach is just kind of a pain in the ass, and I don't like it when it's crowded anyhow. So that's why I don't do it. But I want to show you guys what it's like down here, because this is obviously the most famous part of Miami Beach that people come to. Right away, I can already tell, for South Beach, it seems like a pretty quiet day. And here's one thing that's vastly different about the beach down here versus up by me, is look how huge the beach is. Like how wide, you know? You have the dunes here, and then all the way over there is the ocean. Kind of reminds me of Venice Beach back in California Like once you get out into the sand, you still have to walk for a ways to get out here. And by me, that's not the case at all. Like as far as I've walked here, you'd already be in the water. That's a big difference. And Miami Beach has to do a lot of beach restoration in order to even keep the beaches, especially up where I live. But I don't know if they have to do that down here. It seems like it's easier for them to retain the sand down here for whatever reason. So, for being in South Beach in the middle of the week, it's actually a pretty quiet beach day. And how this looks down here in the middle of the week is how it looks up by me on the weekend. So this is already like my maximum level of tolerance that I can deal with coming to the beach, you know? Because I like it quiet and peaceful. But look at this, guys. Look at this water today. Look how beautiful it is. It took pretty much every ounce of my willpower not to come out here instead of make this video. But it was such a beautiful day that I had to just come out here and show you guys what it was like. See somebody out there parasailing, cruise ship out there. Somebody's got the yacht parked right offshore. This is like an ideal Miami Beach day, really. This is what I live for. This is why I live down here, for days like this. The water is calm and clear. It's starting to cool down. It's not so hot anymore. So it's really great. So you guys can see these buildings up here. I kind of showed you that briefly in the last video. And all the way down at the end here is the pier. So since I'm out here at the beach, I might as well just take the beach route and go down to the pier. And then on the way back, I'll wrap myself through the neighborhood so you guys can see the rest of it. But if you didn't see my video from a while ago called "Can Living in Florida Make You Lazy?" you should go check that out, because I had a similar dilemma that day when I made that video. I wanted to come to the beach so badly, and I ended up just bringing my camera stuff to the beach and making the video at the beach, because that was the only way I could get out and actually get the video done. Because typically what happens with me, if I just go to the beach on a day like this, once I come home, I'm done. I don't get any work done. The beach pretty much sucks the productivity right out of me. I guess it's just the heat and the relaxation factor. And then when you come back home, you really don't want to do much. Got this couple doing some body work over there. Body weight exercise. Getting in shape in the sun. It's one thing I love about down here, guys. It's like that mentality of let's do that, you know? And they're having fun. It's awesome. Honestly, all the times I've been down here, this is probably one of the emptiest times I've ever seen down here. But my timing is kind of on purpose, you know? I'm here in the middle of the day. A lot of people are still at work. It's a Wednesday, so it's not uncommon, I guess, maybe for it to be this empty. But just know that if you come here on a holiday weekend, or even just a regular weekend, or some other time when a lot of people are off, you know, the typical 9-to-5ers are off, or people are on vacation, this beach would be completely packed. I mean, teeming with people, really. So, you know, now that I think about it, I should have worn my swim trunks so that way I could just jump in the water while I'm doing this. But I didn't. Although I was thinking about my gear, I don't want to get everything wet. And they're calling for rain again today, just like the last time I did this, but I think I have a little bit bigger window before it rains, so I should be able to get everything done before that happens. You cannot argue with the beauty of this place. You know, as soon as I moved here and I saw this, I was like, wow, I'm home. It's exactly how I felt. Of course, I missed my family back home, and I missed, you know, seeing everybody and doing the family stuff and just hanging out with everyone sometimes. But I had to go for it, you know, and I'm glad I did, because look where it ended. Look where it got me. If I would have stayed back home in Illinois, I would have been miserable. And now that I have this as my backyard and like my new hometown, I don't regret it at all. Nowhere's perfect, but I think this is probably as close as it gets, honestly. And I really didn't intend for this to be a whole beach walk video like this, but I figured it would be cool to just take the beach route down to the pier and then go back through the neighborhood, because it's such a beautiful day out here, and I'm sure you guys are loving seeing this view, especially if you're somewhere in the world where you don't have this view, just like I was. I mean, what I used to do when I was still working at the car dealership cleaning cars, which was the last job I had before I moved here, I would just daydream about a scene like this all day long. And just the idea of coming to a place like this and this being my new home used to get me so fired up. Like, I will do anything to make it happen. And that's what I did. And it's kind of the message that I want to send to a lot of people watching my channel, especially younger people, you know, who are feeling a little bit lost or don't know what to do, because that was me, guys. I had a lot of friends in high school that by the time they're like 15 years old, they're already like, well, I'm going to this college and I want to do this for a living and this and that. And then here I am sitting there like, I don't even know if I want to go to college, let alone I don't know what I want to do for a living. So for me, it was really hard to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And towards the end of school, my first initial idea ended up being that I wanted to be a personal trainer, because I've always been into fitness for a long time. You know, since I was a little kid, started working out with my dad in the basement of our house when I was about 7 years old. So I've always been into fitness pretty much my whole life. But once I started looking into becoming a personal trainer, I found like some certification courses that sounded interesting, and I was going to do it. But then what happened is I went around to some of the local gyms back in Rockford, Illinois, and asked them, you know, if they would hire me if I had one of these certifications. And they all said no. They all said, yeah, we require you to have some kind of a degree. You know, you got to go to school for that. But so that pretty much was out the window. Once I heard that, that was discouraging enough for me, because by that point I decided I didn't want to go to college. I hated school so much, and I could not imagine being back in school for another 4 to 6 or even 8 years for whatever it is I'm gonna do to try to make money. And thankfully, I always used to be very curious about making money and all of that and how the world works. And of course, I found out that a lot of the world's most successful people, you know, never went to college, or they did go for a brief period of time and then they dropped out. Look at this, one last look at the water over here. It's like a pool. So I knew I wasn't going to be going to college, and after working a couple of jobs too, you know, getting to be 17, 18 years old, I had already had a few jobs at that point, and I quickly realized that I did not want to have a job forever. And I figured, man, I have to have some way to work for myself, because this just isn't going to work, you know? And even though I came down here to do modeling and got a couple different jobs while I was here, I still kept that entrepreneur idea alive, and I knew I wanted to do something. And it led me right here to Southpointe Park Pier. Not really. Wow. Look how beautiful it is today. I guess I'll resume this story after I show you guys the pier. Even the pier is empty today. This is amazingly empty. Hardly ever see it like this. Looks like somebody's shooting something up here. I've seen some channels where they shoot just the boats going by, and that's all the channel does, and they get like millions of views. That's probably what this guy's doing. I have no idea. Like really high-tech setup. Just when I see cameras like that, I already think like, oh my god, I don't think I ever want to own anything like that. Just the thought of learning how to use all that stuff is like gives me a headache just thinking about it. But one thing that's cool about this pier, guys, is this wasn't always here. When I first moved to Miami Beach, there was a pier here, but it was dilapidated and it was unusable and it was closed down. So wherever I'm walking right now and showing you guys, you couldn't come out here when I first moved here. I don't remember exactly when they opened this pier up, but I want to say it was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago that they finally opened it to the point where you could come out here. They have everything brand new. You can do some fishing out here. It's pretty neat. What the hell's gonna happen here, you know what I mean? And all those people that got away with the storm in Miami. But usually it is so crowded out here. I picked the perfect day to come down here, in my opinion. You got the rules for the fishing and all that stuff. I don't know if you can see it. It's so bright, I can barely see what I'm filming here. Too many rules to read, but I'll give it a minute so you can see the whole deal here. Check out this view. This is literally the end of Miami Beach. So this is the southernmost point of Miami Beach, and I'd be interested to know, I have to look this up because I'm curious about it now that I'm down here. This area right here where the water is, and you see all the rocks and Fisher Island over there, is called Government Cut. And they literally dug this out to become this channel at some point in the past. But I'm wondering if this actually used to be connected. Like this land used to be connected to Fisher Island and the port over there. It'd be kind of an interesting history lesson to know. Oh, look guys, there's a manatee. I saw 2 of them earlier today by my house just looking out the window. This thing is huge. Let's see if I can get a zoom in on him. Looks like he's just hanging out. He's probably just taking a breather, eating a little bit of food, taking it easy, man. Very cool, majestic animals for sure. He's coming up for a little air. I can hear him breathing. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. He just stuck his head up to get a little bit of air. Super cool. So I live all the way up there. You can't even see where I live because of the curvature of the land, but it's past the furthest building that you can see is where I'm at. So, but it looks a lot farther than it really is. You know, along this whole beach here, now they have the boardwalk and it's almost complete, and it's gonna actually go all the way up there soon. And it's gonna be awesome for me to be able to get one of those electric scooters and just come down here and zip down all the way down to this area in like 15 minutes. No traffic, no parking, nothing like that. So those will be some interesting videos to make for you guys once that becomes a reality. They're talking the end of the year, so we'll see. So last time I was at Southpointe Park, which is, this pier is part of that park. I was on the western end, and this is the eastern end, all the way to the ocean. And already you guys can see, just in the 20-something minutes I've been shooting this, how many free amenities are within walking distance if you live in this neighborhood. And that's what makes this area so unique, more so than other neighborhoods of Miami Beach. Where I live is a pretty walkable neighborhood too. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good, good.
That guy was cool, friendly. Are you shooting a YouTube video, man?
What?
Are you shooting a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Me too.
You too? What's
Yeah.
your channel?
My channel is my name. My channel's called Michael Bordenaro. It's just my name.
Your name?
Yeah.
My channel is Drone View HD.
Drone View HD.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I'm gonna look up your channel. I'm gonna put a link on the community post so everybody can see.
Let me put your channel here.
I'm shooting a video right now touring the neighborhood, showing everybody what it's like down here. This is pretty cool, guys, to run into another guy shooting a YouTube video out in the wild. That's the first time it's ever happened to me.
What is your channel?
My channel is Michael. Here, I'll type it in for you.
Got it?
That's me.
That's yours?
That's me.
I'm a subscriber.
Is it gonna show up if you subscribe to me?
Yeah, I'm subscribed.
Perfect, man.
Okay.
I would look yours up here, but I'm shooting on my phone, so make a comment or something so I can follow you on there.
Okay.
What's your name?
Alberto. My name is Alberto. My channel is Drone View HD.
Drone View AC. It's a pretty complicated setup you got here.
That's not complicated. It's good.
I was just saying when I was walking by here, I was like, man, if I ever had to learn all this stuff, I don't know if I could. It's just easier just to shoot on the cell phone. It was nice meeting you, Alberto.
All right, nice to meet you too.
That is pretty cool, guys. I'm definitely going to look up his channel when I get home, and I'll link to it so everybody can see the type of videos he does. I'm sure it's pretty awesome. And I'm glad I'm shooting this because my memory is terrible, and just like that, I already forgot what he said. I don't know what it is. It's a problem I've had forever. It's just like when somebody tells me their name or whatever they do or something like that, I just forget so easily. Don't ask why. Check this out. Got a floating billboard out there. I've seen that a few times out here. It's kind of stupid, but different. They're saying it's gonna rain, but it doesn't look too bad right now. I probably still got another hour or two before it actually does. I'm not gonna make this video an hour or two long, but at least this time I don't have to run away from the rain. But this park, right where I'm walking right now in Southpointe Park, is just as beautiful at nighttime as it is during the day, because you have all the city lights and all these columns here on my left. They all light up with different neon type colors, and it's just pretty awesome. So it's pretty neat to come down here. If you do want to come check out the pier, just keep in mind that you have to come before dusk. So the pier is only open from dawn to dusk, like a lot of the parks are. So just keep that in mind. So I guess it changes seasonally, you know. Pretty soon in the winter time, it's going to be closing sooner than later because it's going to be getting dark earlier. Once I get down to the grassy area here, I'll walk a little bit through the grass and cut through the park. You know what? I should actually walk up here and just show you real quick too. This is kind of cool. I'm not sure what the idea was when they put this here, but they made like this huge mound with a little path on top. This is about as much mountain as we have here in Miami. Reminds me of California for about 10 seconds that it took me to walk up here. Got a little bit better vantage point and view of the city up here. It's pretty cool. Oh, in the last video, I was telling you guys that they had this little kids park in here. And here it is. Also, normally they would have this open. Those little weird looking tubes over there are like toys for kids. They shoot water out. It's like a little miniature water park they have over here. There's like a little yogurt and ice cream shop. You got some benches, and then of course the playground for kids. So it looks like the playgrounds are open again, because looking by that last park, it didn't seem like they were, but I guess it is. And honestly, I'm happy. I mean, my point of view on all this is that it's great that things are starting to resemble a normal life again, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the mask. I'm tired of the stay-at-home thing that we had. It sucks. I'm ready for life to return to normal. So they have that area for the kids, pretty cool. And then right up here on the right, they have a little relaxation area with some shade. It's just nice to come in here and catch a breather. Man, just being out in the sun for like this half an hour or so that I've been shooting this, I'm like sweating my ass off, no joke. Look at this little mini nature part of the park. It's pretty sweet. Lots of trees and plants, and I can tell you that just coming in here, the temperature dropped a good 20-25 degrees. So this is a huge relief. And there's more to south of 5th than just this park. So I'm sorry this is taking a little long, but I'm on foot, and it takes a little while to walk the neighborhood. So it is what it is. Normally I would go this way. They're doing a lot of construction here. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go this way anyways, because I want to show you guys Nikki Beach and the other stuff that's down this way. So bear with me a minute if it's a little noisy coming through here. But if I go around, it's just gonna take that much longer for me to come through here. So this building right here on the right is called the Continuum. Super expensive, but also super nice. This one here on the left, I don't think I showed you guys that last time. It's probably like the oldest building here in Southpointe. It's called Southpointe Tower. And you can tell it looks pretty dated compared to all the other modern buildings here. So it is probably one of the cheapest buildings if you want to have this awesome water view and live in a high-rise down here because of its age. Typically, you're always going to pay more for a place, you know, that's newer than older. It's just the way it goes. Probably kind of obvious, but worth mentioning. That's not too bad. I'm getting pretty lucky today. I'm getting lucky with the weather, getting lucky with not having gigantic crowds, getting kind of lucky with the noise. Not too bad so far. This little area that I'm walking through here is actually part of this building in the Continuum. So they have like their parking garage here, and then they also have a few little retail shops here. I don't know if anything's still here or not. Before there was like a real estate office and some kind of convenience store. Looks like it's all empty now. Maybe the real estate office is still here. Of course they are, right? Yep. Got real estate right here. That's how I started my real estate career, just sitting in the office every day, waiting for people to walk in or the phone to ring. And conveniently enough, they have Southpointe Tavern right next to the real estate office. So when you get stressed out, the client on the phone, you can just come over here and have a drink. No one's starting early today, I guess. I could be the first one. But I am not feeling stressed out at all. If I stop and have a drink, it's going to be out of pleasure. And that's what living down here is all about, guys. You know, I moved here to have a better life, not to live for the grind. You know, and for a while that's what I was doing. And making these YouTube videos has been such a change of pace for me, and I am really loving it. I mean, I'm so looking forward to the day when all I have to do is make these videos. You know, I'll still always do some real estate, but I'm looking forward to it getting to the point where I can just pick and choose the deals that I want and refer most of the deals out to other agents that are still wanting to work as an agent, and I can still make a little bit of money off of referral fees. But, you know, it's been over 12 years. We go through phases and chapters in life, and I feel like this one is coming to an end for me. And the reason why I know that is because back when I was living in Illinois and before I came here, I knew that my chapter there was coming to an end as well. So I just know that feeling. And here we are. We're at Nikki Beach. Very famous cafe and club down here. They have like brunch on Sundays. Let me just see if I can walk in here real quick. I don't know if they'll let me in because I'm not wearing the mask, but I can just walk in briefly and show you guys what it's like in here. It's like a little oasis, really. The vibe here is so cool. I came here a few years back with my cousin and had Thanksgiving dinner here. They have Thanksgiving. They have a little shop here, so that's cool. We got bars everywhere. And one of the things that they have here that's pretty unique that a lot of other places don't have is they have these beds everywhere. they're pretty laid back here. You can just kind of walk through. So I'm just gonna walk on through to the end to show you what it's like. Yeah, we sat like somewhere right around here, had a nice Thanksgiving dinner, a nice warm November day. It was perfect. So during the day, you got like this chill vibe going on. Nighttime, these beds fill up. People out here popping champagne, sipping cocktails. They got the lights going. They got the DJ and the music pumping. It's a totally different atmosphere during the nighttime. You see, that's one thing I love about down here, guys. I just walked right through this place. Nobody stopped me and said, oh, you gotta have the mask or you gotta buy a drink to come in. Nothing like that. Very cool, very laid back. That's one thing I love about living in Miami Beach. It's just part of the vibe here. It is not a very uptight place, trust me. Of course, you're always gonna have those assholes that want to, you know, feel like they're in charge of everybody and tell everybody what to do. They exist everywhere, but for the most part, Miami Beach is a really cool town, and I am proud to call it my home. So I pretty much just went through Nikki Beach, and I'm wrapping around to the other side here to finally get back to the neighborhood. So this video is probably going to be a little bit longer than the last one, but if you're really interested to see what it's like down here, you'll stick around. Or of course, you can always skip ahead and come back and watch a little bit today and a little bit tomorrow, whatever you want. No big deal. It takes a while to do these tours on foot, so don't think I'm milking this and trying to make the video as long as possible, because I'm really not. The reality is it just takes a long time to walk through here because, like I was saying in the first part of the South of Fifth tour, it's a small neighborhood, but it's actually very big, meaning that there's a lot of space, you know, and the blocks are very long, and it takes a while to do this little walk that I did. I brought Lizzie to this Hilton hotel several years ago for Christmas. We got some massages there. To be honest, it really wasn't all that. I wasn't too impressed. We've had better massages and customer service at some other places here. You know, being right here in South Beach, in this prestigious area, you would think their service would be a little bit better, but it wasn't. Now this place right up here, straight ahead, that little yellow building, is the place that I have been wanting to try for a long time, and I think we owe it to ourselves, Lizzie and I, to come here and check it out, because we've been talking about coming to this restaurant for years. It's kind of pricey, but it looks like the food is very good, and I really want to check it out. It's called Prime 112. This is it right here. It looks like they even have a little hotel upstairs. Pretty empty right now for lunchtime. Glad to see they didn't go out of business. It's really cool. Here's the menu. Might as well show you while I'm here. And in case you're wondering what I would probably order, I would probably go for either the ribeye or the New York strip. I wish they had prime rib. Check out the Hellcat. That thing is sweet. One of my favorite modern day cars for sure. This thing romps, man. Even the logo looks badass. Pretty cool stuff. This is another brand new building here. I have no idea what the name of this place is. I haven't been here yet because it's only been open for about a year or two. And believe it or not, I don't get a million requests of people coming to see $3 million apartments in South Beach. Got another little hotel right here. You see, like I'm saying, this area of south of 5th is a lot more touristy and designed to, you know, cater to visitors than the West End, for sure. And a lot of Miami Beach is like that, really, not just south of 5th. We still got some residential buildings like this one right here, residential. I've rented a few units here in the past. Nothing special, just some little units there. And this is kind of where I started the walk. Right down there is the Big Pinks. But I'm gonna go straight ahead this time and show you a little more what's going on this way. And then I'll wrap back to the Jeep and show you the rest of the stores that are around here. That's the park that we started at. And even in these oceanfront buildings, like some of these old ones up here, those ones right there, you can still live in those buildings for like $1,600–1,700 a month for a one bedroom. Some of them are $2,000 and up, depending on the view and how big they are. But honestly, to live in this neighborhood on the ocean like that for that price, I mean, where else can you do that, guys? I know there are a lot of other cheap areas in Florida, but I'm saying for a nice famous area like Miami Beach like that, to me that's equivalent to being able to do, you know, beach living on the ocean in LA for that price, which we all know is impossible. So this is another little residential building here. See, a lot of these residential buildings are pretty old and have small units. So you pretty much have that, and then you have the gigantic brand new high rises over there. Well, you know what? I was gonna go a little bit further down. I'm so tempted to go into the shade. I think they might have just had a date. So once I go about another block and a half is when you'll get to the main drag on Ocean Drive. And I am not going to include that in this tour because it would just make the video way too long. If you guys want, let me know in the comments and I can give you a tour of Ocean Drive. I have seen there are some other videos on YouTube walking down Ocean Drive, so it wouldn't be anything terribly unique. But one thing I notice about those videos is that it's mostly just some dude walking around, filming the girls' asses, not saying a word, not really giving you any insight into the neighborhood or the area. So, and you know, you guys already know my channel's not about that. So, needless to say, if I did an Ocean Drive video, it wouldn't be that type of video. This guy's got a huge bucket full of coconuts up here. I would totally get one and bring one home to Lizzie because I know she loves the fresh coconut water. But there's no way I'm carrying that huge coconut all the way back to the car while I'm shooting this video. These are the buildings I was talking about back there, showing you that you could live oceanfront in one of these buildings for less than $2,000 a month. It's not going to be living at the Ritz, guys. You're not going to have the huge modern apartment or anything like that, but you're on the beach you know? So it just depends on what you want. That's always been priority for me. How's it going, man? You know, ever since I moved here, I've been living on the beach, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't see myself living anywhere besides on the beach here unless I were to buy. Look at that, Ramsey, another gelato place. I would go in and grab a bite like you said, but I only have 2 hands. And I'm talking about my friend who loves gelato. He lives in Miami part-time. He watches the channel, so he's definitely gonna see that. But see, look at this real quick while I'm over here. The road for Ocean Drive is totally closed. You know, back in the day, cars used to like cruise up and down there, you know, real slow at nighttime, you know, catch the whole bar and club scene, because over there, you know, I have a bunch of bars and clubs, of course. But now they shut it down. You can't drive anymore there. It's all just pedestrian only. And they did that so all of the bars and restaurants there could have outdoor seating, or more outdoor seating than they already have. So they literally have chairs and tables like out in the middle of the street now. So there's tons of restaurants over here. You got a little sandwich shop over there, a little deli. There's Walgreens, there's the liquor store. There's a bank up here. There's a couple little restaurants back this way, the way we just came from. Right up on the corner here, you got another bank. There's the Equinox Gym on the top floor. So you really got everything you could really need right in these 7 or 8 square blocks, guys. I mean, what else do you need? Well, the only thing I can think of that you would need is a grocery store like Publix and all of that stuff. And I will show you guys that next. And I'm not gonna walk there because that would take forever. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna walk back to my car and I'll drive over to that area just to shorten this up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more restaurants around the corner on the way back to the Jeep. You got a parking garage right there. There's CVS. So in case you ever come down here and you're having a hard time finding parking, remember there is a parking garage on the corner of Collins and 5th Street. Helpful visitor tip for you there. This place has been here for a while. Smoothie Spot. Healthy fast food. Another place I've never been. And if you guys have never been down here before, you see that those misters up there? A lot of these restaurants have these misters in the outdoor seating area because it's so damn hot here, to try to give you a little bit of relief if you're sitting outside. Try not to get it on the camera so it's not all fuzzy for you. This is like a pizza place, little Italian restaurant. A few more restaurants up here. I've been to the Italian place a few years ago. It was okay. Haven't been to any of these other ones though. You see, even in my own town, there's all these places I've never been. Honestly, you gotta be rich and have a ton of free time to just be going around and trying all these different restaurants. I don't have the time or the budget for that, to be honest. Maybe one day. But I've never been huge on going out to eat. I don't mind eating at home and cooking at home, because 9 times out of 10, you get a healthier and tastier meal at home anyhow. And I'm not trying to brag, but I am a pretty good cook, and everybody that has eaten a meal cooked by Michael Bordenaro has been pretty satisfied and has never had anything bad to say about it. So, and having those food boxes really makes life easy. I love having the Home Chef and the HelloFresh boxes come to the house every week because it makes life so much easier. I don't have to think about what's for dinner, it's just there. I see those clouds are slowly starting to creep up. Good thing I came out here when I did. You see, now we're getting more back into like the residential area of South of 5th, and you can notice the difference in the vibe and how quiet it is compared to just a few blocks back, going back to the party, the party Ocean Drive scene and all of that. This place used to be an apartment building. Looks like it still is. They used to have a real estate office upstairs a while ago. I mean, I've been to so many of these buildings over the years, guys. I've probably been in at least half of these buildings in this city over my 12 years in real estate. But I don't remember them all, and it's just too much to remember the names of everything. I'm really good with addresses, though. I remember the addresses a lot of places. Probably because when I'm writing up the contracts, you always have to have the address on there. So that's what makes me remember them, especially when I do more than one deal in the same building. Helps me remember the place. But names, I'm not so good with, even with people. And that guy's YouTube channel, I already forgot the name, but I'm glad it's on tape because I am gonna need to reference that to see what the name of his channel was. So this is Meridian. This is where I started. My Jeep is just down here. I pretty much just made one big loop. And one other cool thing to show you here about Meridian is most of Meridian Avenue, going north and south, is full of these huge trees that line the street. And it's gotta be one of the coolest, meaning like the coolest in temperature-wise, buildings. The coolest streets in Miami Beach. I wish all the streets here were this tree lined because it would make the area so much cooler and nicer to have a walk through. And look how quiet it is over here. Night and day difference. And then right over that way is where we did the first walk. So I'm pretty much back to the Jeep. I'm gonna jump in it and go a few blocks the other direction to show you guys the last amenities of this area. All right, here we go. Before the rain comes, because now it's looking more serious. I'm on the corner of 6th and Jefferson. No, Lenox. 6th and Lenox. And right over here, there's a Publix right across the street. Right here, they have a Target. It's kind of hard to see all this because I'm on the street, walking on the sidewalk. You can kind of see the Target logo up there. That's pretty new. We didn't have this Target just like a year ago, so it's pretty cool we have that now. Looks like some more stores to come right next to Target. We got a mattress firm on the way. What else we got coming? This one's for lease still. And so in this whole complex right here, which I'm gonna walk around so you guys can see, it's technically not south of 5th because it's on the corner of 6th and 5th here. It takes up a whole city block. But you have a bunch of different stores and restaurants in there. Not restaurants. You got Subway, Vitamin Shop, Petco. There's a Burger King right across the street. There's also a Best Buy in there, a Ross, TJ Maxx. Let me get a little bit closer. Those clouds are looking pretty formidable. There's also a Total Wine here, so you can come and enjoy your huge liquor selection. And I wanted to end the video here because even though this is not south of 5th, it's close enough for me to count it because south of 5th is right there. So literally you have all of this stuff walking distance and in your neighborhood if you live down here. And that's pretty awesome because the rest of Miami Beach is not so lucky. So here's all the stores that are here. I hope you guys enjoyed the part 2 of this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I could definitely see myself making more of these in the future, you know, showing you guys the neighborhoods and the area and just sharing with you all the knowledge I've learned over the years. It's pretty cool. So if you guys aren't tired of hanging out with me yet, go ahead and check out one of my other videos right over here, and I'll see you over there.